Hello, everyone. Sometimes in English, you hear a phrase and you just stop and think, what does that even mean? English is full of these fun and sometimes pretty confusing sayings. Well, today we're going to learn a really common one. Are you ready? Today we will run the gauntlet. Run the gauntlet. Does that sound a little scary to you? It kind of does. But don't you worry, we're going to figure out what it means and we'll do it together. One of the best ways to learn is by looking at a funny mix-up. It's so easy to get confused by these idioms. Let me tell you a story about a man named Ken. Okay, so here's Ken. Ken just started a brand new job, and wow, he was so excited. He really wanted to do a great job. So on his very first day, his boss walks over to his desk, she's smiling, and she says, "Ken, your first project is going to be a big one. It's going to make you run the gauntlet." And just like that, Ken's excitement was gone. Now he was just worried. A gauntlet? He's thinking, isn't that a big, heavy metal glove like the knights used to wear? He started imagining himself wearing this huge glove and having to literally run somewhere. He was just so confused. Why would his new job make him run? And where was he supposed to find a giant glove? Oh, poor Ken. He completely misunderstood what his boss meant. Oh, Ken. His mistake is pretty funny, right? But it's also a mistake that's really easy to make. So let's clear up all this confusion and find out what run the gauntlet really means. Okay, so what does it really mean? To run the gauntlet simply means to go through a very difficult experience, an experience with a lot of challenges, or maybe a lot of criticism from people. It has nothing to do with running, and definitely no gloves. Here's a little trick to remember it. Think of a hero in a movie. You know how they have to run through all sorts of traps and obstacles to get to the treasure? That tough journey, that is like running the gauntlet. So where did this strange phrase come from? Well, the origin story is actually pretty intense. A long time ago, it was a type of military punishment. Soldiers would make two lines, and a person who broke a rule had to run down the middle while all the other soldiers would hit them. Yikes. But today, thank goodness, it's not painful like that. The meaning has changed. Now it just describes any tough series of challenges. Like when a famous celebrity has to walk past a huge crowd of reporters all shouting questions, they have to run the gauntlet of the media. Okay, so now we know what it means and where it came from. Let's look at another story, this time to see how you can use it the right way. Let's meet Anna. Anna worked super hard on a huge project, and today was the big day. She had to present her work to all the top managers in her company. As you can imagine, she was feeling a little bit nervous. Right before she went in, she told her friend, "I feel good about my presentation, but I'm nervous about what happens after. I know I'll have to run the gauntlet of questions from all the managers." She knew they would ask her a lot of tough questions to challenge her. And you know what? She was right. After her presentation, the managers asked so many tough questions, one after another. But Anna was ready. She answered every single one perfectly. She successfully ran the gauntlet, and she did an amazing job. See? Anna's story is a perfect example. Let's look at a few more so you can really get the hang of it. Here's one. New students have to run the gauntlet of exams in their first week. Or how about this one? He had to run the gauntlet of reporters to get to his car. And one more. To become a chef, she had to run the gauntlet of long hours and hard work. You're doing great. Now, let's power up your idiom skills a little more. We're going to look at a few extra tips to make sure you use this phrase perfectly. Okay, let's talk about a few common mistakes so you can avoid them. First, a small but important word. People sometimes say run in the gauntlet, but that's not quite right. You should always say run the gauntlet. Also, a quick reminder, it's never about real running. It's always about challenges. And last, don't use this for just one small, easy task. It's for a series of difficult challenges, one right after the other. A really good way to learn a new phrase is to connect it with others you might already know. So idioms that are similar to run the gauntlet are things like face the music or bite the bullet. Now, what about the opposite, something really easy? You could say it's a walk in the park or a piece of cake. And there are also related ideas like trial by fire, which is when you face one really big, difficult test for the very first time. Okay, I think you're ready. It's time for a little quiz to test what you've learned. Don't worry, it'll be fun. Let's see how you do.
Okay, question number 1. What does it mean to run the gauntlet? Is the answer A, to go for a quick jog, B, to face many challenges, or C, to wear a big glove?
Question number 2. This is a fill in the blank. The sentence is, the new politician had to blank of public criticism. Should the blank be A, run a mile, B, walk in the park, or C, run the gauntlet? And here's our last one. Question number 3. Which of these situations is like running the gauntlet? Is it A, a difficult job interview with 5 managers, B, a relaxing day at the beach, or C, eating your favorite ice cream? All right, time to see the answers. For number 1, the correct answer is B, to face many challenges. For number 2, the right phrase to use is C, run the gauntlet. And for our last question, the answer is A, a difficult job interview with 5 managers. Wow, that sounds like a challenge for sure. So, how did you do? I bet you did great. You did it! Fantastic work today. You have officially run the gauntlet of this lesson and you made it through. Using idioms like this one is really going to help your English sound more natural. Now it's your turn. Can you think of a time in your life when you had to run the gauntlet? Try to write a sentence about it and share it in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's content, please like and follow. See you next time.